Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. In this one, I'm going to be talking about the brand new console that Sega just announced for their 60th anniversary, and that is the Sega GameGear Micro. Now, this is a micro version of the Sega GameGear, and if you do not know what the Sega GameGear is, it was a console back in the 90s, and it was Sega's take on the Game Boy, which if you don't even know what the Game Boy is, wow. But the Game Boy was huge back then. It was exploding. It sold so many copies. Everyone had a Game Boy. And Sega saw this, and they were already fighting with Nintendo, so they decided to make a Sega Game Gear. Now, this thing had games I don't know. It did not use Sega Genesis games. It had Sega Game Gear games just for it. I had to remember that for a second. You put them in, you could play Sega games, you know? It was pretty cool. They had a version of Sonic on it. They had a whole bunch of other Sega games. And you know what? It was a cool console for its time, you know? I like the idea of it. It was cool. And also, here's the thing too, the Game Boy was black and green, and this thing was in color, or the full color it could be, which I think it had I forgot how many number color palette on it. I'll have that on screen, but yes, this thing is awesome. And you know what? It's a cool idea that Sega now, for their anniversary, is making a flashback console, which they've done before with the Sega Genesis. And those were kind of bad, and I've seen a lot about them. Here's a clip, for example.
Part of the stage is, where am I? The game just glitched. Oh, come on. Games. Are you serious? Where am I? I'm about to receive an extra life, and listen to how the theme sounds when I receive the extra life in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. You heard it. It literally sounded like someone was drunk behind the Yamaha keyboard when they played the theme. It was
Yeah, also, yeah, shout out to Review Tech USA Rich, or as I like to call him, Dickers. He gave me the idea for this, well, not personally, but I saw his video on this, and I thought it'd be an interesting topic, so yeah, shout out to him. And, yeah, so, getting back to it, though, the Sega Game Gear Micro will be shipping out on October 6th, and it also has a very, very small display, a 1.15 inch. 1.5, I don't know inches, but seriously, this thing is just over an inch. That is very small. Oh my god, this is a very small little micro console, and it'll be retailing for around $45 to $50. I was about to say 45, but in some places it might go up to 50, so I'd say around $45. And you know what? It's a cool idea. I like the idea of this console. It's a micro version of the Game Gear, and it's cool that it's so small you can literally like put it in your pocket. It's funny to think about. But it has a very, 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 very big catch, and I want you to hear this before you even consider buying one. Okay? So, this thing is a built-in console. It has built-in games. And do you want to guess how many games it has on one? 4! 4 games! This thing has 4 games on the console, and you're spending $50 for it. 50! So, I think this thing is... It kind of went down a little on the coolness meter because of that, and I know they can't have, damn, a billion games on it, or 100, or 1,000, or maybe 100, but seriously, I just think that there could be more than 4. Maybe 5, 10, 20... 4 though. 4. So I'm going to go through them. And here's the other thing too. That each Game Gear console, each Game Gear Micro, has different games on it. So you better be sure that you know which one to buy. Like, let's just say that for some reason you want one of these, and which I can see why. And let's say your mom or a relative or a friend buys this for you, and they buy you the red ones. There's different colors. There's black, blue, yellow, and red. And let's say you want the black one, which I'll be listing the games, and they buy you the red one, and you don't like the games on it, well, you're out of luck. Better make sure you're able to return that. So I'm going to go through what consoles have which games on them. So the black model, which seems to be my favorite as it has all the games that I'd probably like on this. Well, the main big one, Sonic the Hedgehog, Puyo Puyo 2, Outrun, and Royal Stone. Okay, this one has Sonic. This is going to be the main seller, and it is the classic black. So that's cool. Blue has Sonic Chaos, Gunstar Heroes, Sylvan Tale, and Baku Baku Animal. Okay, now this is the part I'm really going to have trouble pronouncing. The yellow one has Shining Force Gaiden Ensei Jaishin no Kunihei, Shining Force The Sword of Hayai, Shining Force Gaiden Final Conflict, and Naizo Poyo Arayu no Ru. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce these. I don't really know those games that well. Moving on. The red one has Revelations the Demon Slayer, Megami Tensei Gaiden The Last Bible Special, the GG Shinobi, and Columns. Okay, now out of all these, I definitely have to say the black one is the most worth it one for Sonic. But let's say you like Shining Force. Maybe you want to get the yellow one. But you know what? This is a very awesome idea, and I still like it, even though about the amount of games on it. And the hardware itself, I'm quoting this from The Verge, which I'll have the link down below to this article. The hardware itself is 80 millimeters by 43 millimeters by 20 millimeters with a 1.15 inch display. There's a single mono speaker and a headphone jack. That's cool. It has a headphone jack, and it charges over USB, and it can also use 2 AAA batteries. Okay, and yeah, that's cool. But let's just say you want to have all of them. So they have a 4-pack for $250, and you get a mini version with all of them on it, or just I think what they mean by that is it has all of the games on one console, which so they can do it. They're just trying to sell you it, okay? And it also has a magnifying glass, a big window as they call it, and wow, that's kind of cool. I wish they'd all have a magnifying glass. And also, I like how The Verge said, remember, this is the same company that released non-functional plastic Sega CD and 32X add-ons. Yeah. So, okay. Anyways, that's cool. And also, the October 6th release is for Japan, and the Western release is not announced yet. So I forgot to mention that. I probably put annotations or quotations or whatever earlier to say that. But yes, this thing is a little sketch just because of the few things, especially that they have like a big version, so it's like you need to buy the big version if you want all the games. Or you can buy the small ones for $50 each. Okay. So, my final opinion on this thing is it's okay, you know. I really think these things could have more games on them. And you know what? I didn't think about this until now, that the modding community is just... They're going to have a field day with this. They're going to be modding. It's going to be like a little Raspberry Pi. They're going to put everything on it. So, that's cool to at least think about. So, if you want to get one and download some mods and get cool games on it, you can always do that. And you know what? I might buy one because of that. I might get my hands on one for, let's say, that someone found out how to even get Nintendo games or something else crazy on it. I might get one because the fact that for $45 you can have a tiny little GameGear, that's cool. Anyways, I hope you all have an amazing day or night wherever you are. That's about it for today's video. If you want to see more gaming news videos like this, please let me know. And you can always subscribe if you want to be notified for when I make new videos. I have some awesome videos coming soon. It was a lot of fun doing this, kind of different than usual. And I definitely will be doing more gaming news when it happens. Anyways, let me know what you guys' thoughts on this are down below. I'll see you guys later, and have a good one.